This reading is for Jason Todd. Jason, thank you so much for choosing me to do your reading today. So let's jump into it. The first card I want to talk about, this reflects you and how you are right now. This card shows me there's some kind of emotional loss that has happened. This feels more like regret than real grief. But I do feel like there is this aspect of it that you are grieving. I feel like you keep looking back on things and kind of like, well, what went wrong? What went wrong? Um, Something didn't go as you hoped, so that's obvious. And it's not so much that you're mourning it, but you are. There's this little piece of you that's still kind of mourning what didn't go right. I feel like your focus remains more on what you've lost rather than what remains. And it feels like what remains is still quite a bit. We'll jump into that more further in the reading, but based on the other cards, I think you have a lot to work with here. You're slightly vulnerable, and I know that word, especially to a male, is like, no, I'm not, no, I'm not. But yeah, it's just because you're kind of defeated and you're emotionally disappointed with things. So this to me, it feels like this is likely a very personal situation and possibly a family situation. So when it comes to the next card, this card kind of talks about what's crossing you right in this moment. Despite the heaviness of what we saw in the last card, the Five of Cups, this card, the Ace of Wands, it shows you have this opportunity for a fresh start, for new energy to start moving in. It's all right in front of you, these steps that you need to take to jump into this next thing, but it feels like you're having a hard time grasping onto that. Does that make sense? Um, Motivation is definitely a piece of it, and you're kind of losing your creativity with things. Things feel a little bit stagnant. Even if part of this is you kind of looking into a new relationship outside of just a passion for things, the universe is offering you some spark to move ahead, to go ahead with different things, but you have to let go of that weighed down feeling that you've been grappling with to kind of emotionally be able to reach for it. You have to make up your mind, Jason. You really have to make up your mind, because you're struggling to reconnect, and you're struggling to reconnect with your person. You're struggling to reconnect with your direction. You're struggling to reconnect with your purpose. So then we're going to talk about into your recent past. Okay, so this is kind of the precursors of what caused you to be where you're at right now. There was a lot of burden there. You had a lot of burden on you. It felt like it was never going to go away. There was a lot of responsibility, a lot of emotional, heavy crap going on. Just again, this feels family related. So this might be, your relationship or your inner family, but this feels family related. And it feels like you were just extremely overwhelmed. You were carrying just a really heavy load of stuff and taking on way more than was fair, way more than your share. And you were trying to outdo everyone else, including yourself, is what I'm getting. So I hope that makes sense. And you burnt out, period. You just burnt out. And that will be a pattern that you'll deal with again until you learn that you have to delegate responsibilities and not be Superman all the time to everybody. Now, as far as things that you are aware of, I think you know that there were things that were meant to be left behind. I think you're aware that staying in certain emotional situations, relationships, certain mindsets you had, such as like that Superman type syndrome, were not serving you any longer. I feel like, you knew you needed to walk away from this. It no longer aligned with who you are and what you had going on. So I'm going to leave this right here and I'm going to make a second video for part 2.